MOJO 2 is the pop, jazz, big band, and funk horn library you've been waiting for. 13 different instruments are included, each with a full array of articulations. True legato, 3 mic positions, plus a pre-mixed option to help you conserve your computer's CPU and memory. In total, this library has nearly 100 gigabytes of samples before compression. Up front, the library is elegantly simple, but has massive depth and control over each instrument and sound. So let's get right to it. In the keyboard display, you can see 3 different colored ranges of keys. The middle blue range shows the playing range of the instrument's currently loaded articulation. The bottom range selects the articulation you want, and the top range selects the type of release sample to be played back at the end of the sustain articulation. For these releases, the default option is a regular release, and the other 4 include doits, falls, trills, and shakes. There are 4 main pages in MOJO 2: Performance, Mixer, Effects, and Key Mapping. Let's now look at the Performance page. The first set of controls on the Performance page are your global controls for overall volume and pan adjustments. Key Noise Overlay, which contains controls for the overall volume of the key clicks, as well as the probability you'll hear a key click when playing a note. Additional settings on this page include velocity curve settings, pitch bend range, and round-robin behavior. The rest of the tabs on the Performance page allow specific settings for each of the included articulations. For sustained samples, you can control the overall volume and sample release length, the attack accent amount, release sample volume. You can also control the sustained sample dynamics by either velocity of your MIDI input or via MIDI CC. With legato mode activated, you have a few options to control the legato length. The playing speed option will play longer transitions when duration from one note to another note is slower, and faster transitions when you play quickly from note to note. The second option uses MIDI CC to control the length. And finally, the velocity option plays longer transitions with softer playing and faster transitions when playing louder. Vibrato mode has 2 playback options: real vibrato and simulated vibrato, which has real-time control over the amount and the speed of the vibrato for more expressive control. The majority of the rest of the articulations have controls over volume, sample release length, options whether you want to control dynamics by velocity or MIDI CC, and finally, the polyphony of the articulation. The final 3, swells, crescendos, and falls, all have additional specific control over the length of the articulation. For swells and crescendos, you can specify exactly the length you want by either number of beats or by seconds. For falls, you can choose between short, medium, or long falls. We wanted our customers to be able to use MOJO 2 in a variety of different musical settings, which is why we included 4 different era buttons at the top of the interface. Switch between them to hear the sound of MOJO 2 transformed to various iconic recording eras of the past. By default, MOJO 2 is set to a modern sound, with a full and rich, clean tone. The retro era brings a slightly saturated tone, with a bit of dirt representing sounds of the 60s and 70s. Vintage 1 recreates the sound of the 40s and 50s, and Vintage 2 takes us all the way back to early recording days of the 20s and 30s. Now let's move over to the Mixer page. The Mixer page lets you turn on and off various mic positions. Using the full mix will help conserve computer memory, but if you want to get the most out of MOJO 2, combine the close, near, and room mics together for your own custom mix. The Ensemble section allows you to select 1 to 10 players. The Effects page has 9 different effects, each with various presets to get the sound you are looking for quickly. The Reverb contains 15 different hand-picked impulse responses. Lastly, the key mapping page allows you to customize the key switch mapping of all the articulations. Furthermore, certain MIDI CC assignments can be changed here if needed. For more information about MOJO 2, please go to our website at virtu.com and check out the product page along with other helpful videos to get the most out of MOJO 2.